Hey, everybody.
You told me to talk. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Board Game Spotlight. I'm Lizzie.
I'm Derek.
And tonight we're doing a special non-live stream of a game. We are just here to talk about some of our favorite games from a certain mechanic. Tonight we have picked worker placement. And we have zero overlap on this list. So there will be 10 unique worker placement games that we will be discussing, giving our favorite things about them. And we can see whose list you like better, whose tastes you align with more.
It's true. It's true. I'm trying to pull up. So we took a poll on the Board Game Spotlight on the group. And I'm trying to get that loaded in so we can see what everybody...
See how many of those we have on our list.
Right, like I just want to kind of have that there to see what that looks like, because I'm really interested to see like what sort of overlap. Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's all over my face. Look at that. There we go. Fine. Boom. So, I don't know. We just...
between us?
Put it between us.
So, Lords of Waterdeep looks like it was the most by a decent margin.
Yeah, you can see I voted for Dune Imperium, so spoilers, but that was one of my favorites.
Lords of Waterdeep. Good game. I had a bad experience with the people, not the game. So I have not revisited that game.
Yeah, that was a very interesting game that you were in with us. That unfortunately that was kind of tough for you.
It turned off the whole situation. So like I know it's a great game. I have nothing against the game, but I have not played it again.
Yeah.
It's been,
I gotta pull my list.
I don't know, like 7 years or something. It's been a long time.
You have stuck to it too. You're like, I'm not playing it.
Do we own it?
It might be here. I don't know.
I don't think we own it. And like, I mean, there's
so I have it on Steam.
Okay.
I have it on Steam.
So like, it's not like there are tons of people who are like begging me to play it. We just have not I did not play it with that group ever again, and no one has asked me to play it.
Oh, Kirk Miller's here. Hey, what's up, Kirk? Whatever Derek, you know what? That's fair. Whatever Derek says, you're the opposite. I like it.
So you have Dune Imperium.
Yeah, well, you can see I voted for that one. Yeah, but you can see Viticulture's up there. Everdell.
Fantastic game. Yeah.
Feast for Odin. I think that's a game neither of us have played. Yeah. So you won't be seeing that on this list.
It will not be because we just have no experience with it.
Anachrony is a game that only I have played, but I've not played it enough to put it on my top 5.
Raiders of the North Sea is a good one.
Raiders is a good game. Raiders is a great game. Champions of Midgard, solid.
I didn't play that one. I played Reavers
of Midgard.
I liked that one. It's not on my list. Never played Agricola.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Kirk, we're talking about favorite worker placement games. We are talking about our favorite worker placement games. Yes. What's up, Jean Thomas? Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight.
And then Lost Ruins of Arnak, I have a feeling that one will be popping up.
That one's probably going to be pretty popular. Agricola is a game that I have not played either. Wait, no, Agricola, yes, I have. That's Misery Farming. Yeah. Misery Farming? Yeah, Misery Farming is, that's Agricola, so it's...
Like, Misery, like, is it like a... Everyone hates it, or is that actually like
no, I mean, it's a really well-known game, but the running joke for that game is it's called Misery Farming because it's just very taxing and very like procedural with like you have to feed people and like feed your like it's just very like things die, like it's just very it's misery. Misery. And then you've got what else do we have? The last one there looks like Lost Ruins of Arnak. Yep. So that's the poll. Pretty diverse field of games, going from like heavy games.
And only a handful will be mentioned on our list.
Yes.
I mean, of the top games.
So there were a lot
of
games on this poll.
Yes, there was a lot. There were some that some people were like, that's not a worker placement. So there's some. Derek actually was like, you can't have that on your top 5. That one doesn't count.
So Kirk, for those of you who are watching this and don't know what a worker placement game is, it's that you have a meeple or some sort of maybe a die, a cube, and you place it on a board and it does something. It gives you
in a spot.
Yeah, you place it somewhere and it gives you a benefit or an action or gains you resources.
Put a thing somewhere, get something in return is basically the crux of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you'll see, like, if you've played some of the games that maybe we're going to talk about, but maybe you haven't, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But we're going to mention some of our favorite Favorite ones. Yeah, Jean Thomas, basically the problem is it's very punishing. Agricola can be a very punishing game.
So there's like no catch. It's like if you don't do it from the beginning, you're just...
I haven't played it enough to know if there's a catch-up mechanic, but like it's pretty punishing. Yeah.
It's not
something that you would enjoy. Not at all. It's not a Lizzy game. I'm very confident in that.
Okay, so mine are not in any order. I don't know if Derek's put his in like 1 to 5.
No, mine aren't in order. These are
the 5.
These are literally my favorite 5
numbers,
worker placement games.
Because that's too much stress. And then people are like, oh, why didn't this one? Why is that one? You know, I just like these 5 games.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no need to order this for me either. Like, these are just the ones I like. Like, these 5 games, right? So this is going to kind of collectively make up...
popcorn back and forth?
Sure. Would you like to start?
I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to, but you can. Okay. Lizzy, why don't you go ahead and start us? Now, do we want to keep this up?
No.
Or do you want me? Okay, we're going to get rid of the poll. That way we can fight.
Thanks.
You ready?
I am.
Okay.
I don't even know which is going to be the first one.
I don't even know what's going to be the first one either. I'm trying to get this poll out of the way here. And we're going to go with boom.
Honey Buzz from Elk Creek Games. So you have little beeples. So the worker that you're using is a bee. You have at the top of the board, you can do all your things like buy
a little bigger.
Buy the honeycomb, you can go to the market, you can get more worker bees. There's so many things. And then once you put the tile, because it also has tile placement, that really mechanic. And then as you go up the worker placement, as they fill up, you have to put more bees. So if someone has 1 bee there, you have to put 2 bees to go there. And the next person has to put 3 bees to go there.
Yep.
So it's a really great, like, the area is never like full, but it's just how much do you want to do that action versus, you know, like how many bees you have, because then you have to take like a rest action to recall all your bees. So really, really cute art. The rest of the game is fantastic as well because, you know, there's really, I mean, no games that are just one mechanic anymore. So this is like the tile laying.
Yeah, it's got quite a bit
of like kind of like an engine building-ish, a little kind of with the house.
Yeah, like it's kind of got that mechanic where like you know, once you place things you get the cascading effects of things. So engine building is a great way of putting it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't be like the top mechanic, but like I think that's a good way to explain the...
Yeah, I think so too.
Super fun, super cute. This is like medium weight, not super heavy, but probably not a super introductory game. Mm-hmm. It's just like perfect, like that mid-weight, like. So
this one's hard for me because like I can't say anything like bad about your game because like I really like your game.
Thought this is gonna be?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like coming at you like let's go. Like no, I'm not gonna trash your games. I really like Honey Buzz too, so I'm glad you put that on your list.
Because you're like, oh god, I didn't have to put it on my list.
I mean, it would make my top 10 for worker placements for sure. So I'm glad kind of collectively because I think we both really enjoyed the game. So
that's true.
Like your list is my list. That's how
Derek has played all of mine. I have not played all of his. So that just gives you like.
Yeah, that's fair. You've played almost all of mine. Almost all of mine, I think.
Mm-hmm. What is your?
Oh, what am I gonna throw up against yours? Oh, that is a great question. I'm gonna throw up On Mars.
So I played this one.
We're gonna go with some On Mars action.
Viticulture,
worker placement. Now, I have not played Gallerist, and I've not played Kanban, so those 2 games are, I believe, both use worker placement. Mm-hmm. So people will be like, oh my gosh, why don't you have those on your list? Like, chill out, relax. I have not played them. I need to. They're on the shelf of opportunity. Mm-hmm. But On Mars, to me, is such a good worker placement game with the traveling from back and forth from orbit to on planet and trying to figure out...
Talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. And how you have to, like, time those placements of workers because, like, your workers will exist either in outer space or on the planet. So... like, if you have them in outer space, you don't have them on planet, right? Like, thematically, it makes sense. And I love just the how tight it is for using your workers and trying to figure out that puzzle.
And you don't want to, like, waste a turn of having someone in space and being like, I don't need to use them, let's return, you know?
Right. Like... and then, like, yeah, again, making the choice to return, like, when to return your workers and how you're going to get them back and, like, from where and everything. Like, On Mars, to me, is such a good game. Again, it can be pretty punishing, though, too.
And this is it's probably one of the heaviest on the list.
I think it's probably the heaviest game on the list. between us. Yeah, I think it's the heaviest one on the list for
but
sure.
I played it.
We played it a lot because we played it.
True, I played
We
it.
live streamed it.
We did, but we played the regular game and then we learned the co-op. So I played both regular and Mars and then the co-op, which is not out yet because it was the Kickstarter.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter,
but I have played
the expansion.
All of it.
Yeah, super solid. Again, so these games to me are games like if you said, "Hey, let's play the game," I'm there. Sit down, put it on the table, let's go. Like that's to me like these 5 games. That's what it takes to get into this list. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That was our criteria.
I'll play it. Yep.
Yeah, that's the criteria. Like so to me, it's I will always play it and I will always recommend it. Mm-hmm. Right? That to me is what we're doing here.
It's a good way to.
All right, so I'm gonna just kind of.
Are you gonna keep them up there?
Yeah, we'll just make them a little smaller. We're gonna do a little movement here so people can see. Yeah, okay.
So what's next?
Are we gonna like snake and then I do one, then you do one, or we just go back and forth? I think we're gonna throw it back to you.
Okay.
Throw it back to you.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Architects of the West Kingdom. Okay. Love this one. I've also played Paladins. I put Architects because I have played Architects more and it is a lighter, so I feel more accessible, easier to get to the table game. But I mean, good. I love Garfield, I love Shem. Like, if you've played Architects, it makes it a lot easier to go into Paladins. And I mean, his symbolism is very...
Oh, like all the icons?
Across the board.
Yeah, across the board.
I mean, the symbols, like across the board, once you've played like one of his games, it's very easy to pick up on his other games because he uses that same system. But I love this game. I think when it came out, it was on my like top 3 or something.
Oh, for that year?
Like for that year.
Yeah,
so it's like one of my favorite games. I love that you get like a ton of meeples and you can just like just go crazy.
Well, even like the expansions have been pretty good too.
Yeah. You get so many, and then like there is the jail mechanic, which is not my favorite, but it's not horrible. And I just love that, you can have so many meeples there and it does so much stuff. And then I thought it was a neat spin because I always like wanted more people. And I was like, I always need more workers.
Well,
and he's like, here's a bunch of workers. And you're like, I still need more. Thank you.
Take them all. Have them all. No, like for me, Architects of West Kingdom, one of my favorite parts about this particular way that it uses worker placement is that it has that culmination, like it's getting bigger. The more people you have in a location, the more you get. So like I love
resources.
I love that. Like the more I pile into a location, the more I'm gonna benefit from that. And that is super fun.
It is.
Super fun.
So good.
We're just gonna have to pull these games out again and like play them now. You got me all excited about Architects and Honey Buzz again. But all right, so I'm gonna throw up against your Honey Buzz. Or not Honey Buzz, I'm sorry. Architects of the West Kingdom. I'm going to throw up Lords of Waterdeep.
You did have it?
I do have it on my list. Yeah. I made an audible.
You did, like, last minute. I had no idea that you picked it.
Ooh, sneaky. You didn't see it coming.
I did not. I'm just shocked. What did you take off then?
Don't worry about it.
I'm very curious.
You'll find out. You'll be like, oh, you took that one off.
And be like, wow.
So... Lords of Waterdeep, to me, is one of the most pure forms of worker placement.
Yeah.
Like, there's no frill, right? Like, it is a worker placement game, and that's almost it, right? You do have resource management, and you have, like, secret objectives and missions and stuff you're trying to accomplish. But at the heart of the game, it is a worker placement game. A lot of the games on our list, you'll notice they have some mechanisms that they're complementary, right? Mm-hmm. Like,
Architects, you can do variable player power.
Right. There's some other things that happen in the game.
There's the card.
There's different mechanisms,
building,
right? But Lords of Waterdeep is literally just pure worker placement. And I played this on Steam a couple weeks ago with a friend, Christian Gilbert. And honestly, it reminded me how good this game is. Like, when you throw in all the expansions, the Skullport, and there's another one I'm blanking, but Lords of Waterdeep with expansions to me is so good. It's so fun.
I am just getting upset thinking about the game you played.
You want to tell your story? I mean, you want to talk like what happened? I mean, it was crazy.
We played. Halfway through the game, we realized we were playing a rule wrong, and we all looked at each other and we said, this is how we've been playing the whole game. What do you guys think? And we're like, it was not a big rule. It was not a huge thing. So we're like, you know what? We've already done it. It would mess it up. Everyone agrees. We're just going to keep going the way that we have. Last turn, I I don't even know who did it. Someone did it.
I don't.
And
it doesn't matter.
the guy's like,
Someone
oh, well, like, we've been playing wrong, so if we actually goes this way, and he was, like, trying to, like, get something to, like, take away my points or something. He was trying to, like, actually...
It was gonna, like, help him win, I think. It was gonna help
me lose. Like, he was gonna take points away from me and give points to him, and I was like, no, like, we agreed earlier in the game. And he's like, well, we've been playing it wrong. We're like, yeah, we all agreed that we were playing it wrong and to just continue because it wasn't a big deal. And he's like, no, I looked at the rules. We're playing it wrong, so we need to play it this way. And I said, no, I refused to take it because we had all agreed. And he was just like, well, we're playing wrong, so we have to play it the right way. And he wore down everyone else, and everyone else was like, fine, just let him do it. And I was like,
a 15-minute conversation.
Is doing it wrong so that he can beat me because he held this for the last turn when I couldn't do anything, and I like stood my ground, and I was like, we can just end the game and not score or anything. I am not accepting this. And like everyone else was just like, I can't believe you're still standing up to him.
So bad.
And finally he just like, fine, whatever, Lizzie. And I was like, fine, but like you're not gonna cheat on the last round and literally be like fine with it.
Since that day, she has never played.
Probably because I have such strong feelings about it that just seeing that game, I'm just like, oh, I'm so mad. I'm having some deep feelings about it.
Well, we can move on. I just want to point out that the game is great, and Lords of Waterdeep is a quintessential worker placement game.
It is. It is what
for anybody that likes worker
has been in the hobby for a long time. That is probably the game that they will immediately be like, oh yeah, worker placement, Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah. It's synonymous with worker placement.
My experience had nothing to do with the game. It's not the game's fault.
Do you want me to go back, or are we going back to you?
Fine.
Okay, you're good. Well, I don't want it to like sour your enjoyment.
We're going to be talking about games I love with my life.
Okay. Do you want to go 1, 2, or 3? Give me a number. Number 2. All right. We're going to throw up. Oh, looky here.
See, this is perfect because this makes me so happy. This game, okay, so it just came in. We almost always cover kids' table board gaming, but Derek was deployed. So Jimmy Hudson covered it for us, did a fantastic job. But I did not play this until we got our final copy. So we sat down yesterday and we played it. And this game is so good. It is so cute. Like the art is perfect and the worker placement is great. It's family level. So yeah. There's a lot of simultaneous, like everyone is placing their workers at the same time, which I loved.
So quick.
I thought it was fantastic. I loved that mechanic. And then one by one, you go through and you resolve your the worker placement. You know your
turn, right?
And then like you can buy cards. There's comforts that you can build. So there's like rocking chairs and quilts, and you can make soup and stew and bread. Really fantastic, very good introductory, but there's still meat to it.
Yeah.
Like it's not,
especially with the expansions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did play with the expansions,
which I think is great because if you're gonna go for more like seasoned gamers, but like if you're gonna throw kids in there, man, that game. We actually kind of had like an argument, not really an argument, but you're like, well, like, no, I'm saying because like you wanted this on your list, but I wanted this food on my list.
Well, I told you I was having it, so she was like, we can either both have it or I can have it.
She's like, listen, it's mine and I'm talking about it. And I'm like, fine, that's fine. But I just want everybody to know, like, we both absolutely adore this game.
This is, as soon as I finished, I was like, I would definitely play this again.
Oh, it had still on the table. Yeah, we didn't even put it away.
8 rounds, but like if you wanted to do like a shorter round for like kids or family or something, you could take out a couple cards and make it 6 rounds. It flowed so smoothly. It was so cute. It was just,
it's so smart.
The perfect introductory light to mid-weight game.
So you're probably gonna be like, whoa, where's Stone Age on this list? It's this right here.
I have not played Stone Age, but like
I have played Stone Age. This replaces Stone Age for me. Mm-hmm. Like I will not play Stone Age because I have creature comforts, and when I have when Seb gets a year or 2 older, he will play creature comforts because it is just an amazing introductory to worker placement. And it's so smart with the fact that like everybody simultaneously gets to place their workers. There's no blocking, but you can only have one worker at a location. So it moves so fast. Everybody's like talking, and then you take your turn and it's dice placement. It's dice activations. Yeah. And I mean, when you're talking like trying to keep kids involved,
there's like a mechanic where if you put a worker at a place and they end up not having a dice to activate, they get, what do they call it?
They learn a lesson.
Yeah, it's a lesson learned.
Learned,
it's something that will help them in future, so their turn isn't entirely wasted. They still earn something from that placement, but it's just not what they expected. And they learned, next time, maybe don't go somewhere where it needs a 6 and only a 6 if you have not rolled one and you don't know what the dice roll at the end of the round is going to give you.
Right. I mean,
fantastic
I
game.
can't.
We will probably be doing a live stream of it soon.
Yeah, I can't recommend this one enough. Like, if y'all get a chance to play this, I hope you do. Especially if you look for family weight worker placements. Which I'm going to piggyback into my next game, which is another kind of family weight game, asking for troubles from Breaking Games.
Troubles or troubles? Troubles.
Troubles. I think it's supposed to be like a play on trouble, but it's like troubles.
Yes, the ships. It's all very
Am I talking about this or are you talking about it?
Oh, I can both.
I knew you loved this game.
The ships are all like riffs off of like famous.
They're all parodies.
Yeah, like super fun.
This is another light to mid-weight family weight worker placement game that has worker bumping. So like when you go to location, it bumps your worker, which I love worker bumping.
Well, you're gonna bump someone else off.
Right.
So when you do it, you're like, okay, I want to go there, but someone else is there. So instead of them like running out of workers and taking a turn to get there, I'm just gonna give it back to them, and then they're gonna take their turn that much sooner. So there's a lot of like thought of, oh, should I go there? Should I maybe wait until they're gone?
One of my favorite parts about the game is that it has upgraded like worker spots where you can build onto a worker location to make it more powerful. And I haven't seen that in a whole lot of worker placement games. That to me was really novel. It was really unique. It was creative. It was like a way to increase worker spots to make them more attractive. Or if you're continually going to the same location to like kind of, increase like your yield from that location when you're building out certain like, if you gain a resource, now you're going to gain XYZ. It was just really, really cool to see like being able to upgrade the way that your workers gain resources for you. And then it's got such a cute theme. It's really cute. Super orange, lots of orange.
Orange. It's very orange.
All the ships are orange.
Are carrots. Like the food is carrots.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's
a little like silly, cute.
Yeah, it's not necessarily recipes, but like
too serious.
You are trying to get a certain amount of resources to then turn them in for objectives and like to catch the troubles, right? And like that's how you score points. So Asking for Troubles actually just finished up a Kickstarter and fulfilled this last week.
And big
we
actually got both of these games in the mail in the last like week or so.
It's true, yeah. And I'm really, really excited to play the expansion stuff for this because again, it's a great family.
It has been a bit.
It goes up to 7 players too.
It's got a great.
Yeah. Like, and when I say 7 players, like, it plays 7 players, but it's not super long.
It's not going to be a 4-hour game.
It's not going to be a 4-hour game with 7 players. It's really, really, really pretty quick. So, all right, let's move these up. And let's move into the next list.
Surprise me.
I'm going to be, I was going to say 1 or 2? 2 or 1? Which one's better? And boom!
Lost Ruins of Arnak, yes. So Derek has loved this game for a long time, and we got the expansion, and he's like, "We have to play it." And I was like, "Okay." So we sat down. I was like, "I don't know, is this expansion going to be too much?" Because I haven't played their base game. He's like, "No, it'll be fine." And it was fantastic, and
it's right up your alley for like the historic, like yeah.
Yeah, like, well, I mean.
I do want to say, though, I watched Jason Perez's recent video because he had a video about this. And if you've not watched Jason Perez Shelf Stories, so mechanically, Lost Ruins of Arnak is absolutely fantastic. The worker placement and the deck building all mixed together is very unique. And actually, you'll see, obviously, I voted for Dune Imperium. So a lot of times, those two games kind of like go back and forth. But Jason made some really good points about this game and the fact of kind of like how the theme and the entire like architect rating thing is actually pretty troublesome, historically.
Yeah.
The fact that a lot of Western European people were going into nations to like rob and steal these prized artifacts, and so I do want to mention that because that is what you're doing in this game. Yeah. So, as long as you understand that and you think about that, like, until Jason had made that video, I honestly didn't think
I did not see that. So, like,
you
what you were about to say, I was going to say, like, the theme means nothing to me. The mechanics were so good. That's all I focused on.
Right. Well, I did too. Like, the game is so good. Like, I never thought about the theme. But then, like, when he put it that way, I was like, man, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, wow, like, he put it in such a good way for me to really sit back and evaluate it. Not that I will still play the game. I will still play but it does give me an appreciation for...
Yeah. Why is there a shortage of mummies? Because Victorian people ate them all.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Like, people, like, would go to Egypt, they would exhume all the mummies, ship them back to England or America or whatever, grind them up and sell them as, like, medicine. Like, they would have, like, mummy unwrapping parties. Like, it was a thing that they did for entertainment, and, like, so many mummies that were historically preserved for, like, thousands of years.
If you're watching this, you
Did
just
you not
learned
know
about
this?
mummies. I had no idea.
Mummies are, like, a huge fascination with me. I've been fascinated with them since I was, like, a child, probably since The Mummy came out, because that's, like, one of my favorite movies. But I read, like, everything my library had on the ancient Egypt mummy. And then, you know, obviously, everyone thinks of mummies as, like, ancient Egypt, but there's bog mummies, there's sand mummies, which was the origination of the Egyptian mummies, because obviously people buried people in the Sahara and then, you know, dry it out. There's, like, the Inca mummies, there's, like, snow mummies, like Utsi. There's, like, so many different ways to mummify a body. There's so many different versions
and,
of
like,
it all
they would,
across
like,
the world.
steal the bodies.
The ones that I'm talking about specifically are Egyptian mummies. Victorian people, like, had a fascination with it, and they were like, ooh, let's heal my earache or something. Let's take some mummy. Like, it's really dumb. And, like, the fact that we are missing all of that, like, historical importance, because a bunch of people, like...
bunch of rich people ate their bodies.
I mean, like, it was, like, just rich or, like, even middle class or whatever, but...
But a bunch of humans stole...
more humans.
Yeah, okay.
It's like
I'm good.
Clap.
I'm gonna
like,
pass.
it was just a ridiculous thing to hear about. But, I mean, I think that ties in. We have really, like, gotten a little off topic. But, like,
we have.
Ties
All I was trying to say was...
Arnak and, like, historical significance and, like, taking it. And I understand the conversation.
Indiana Jones, though.
Yeah.
In a board game feel, like, when you're talking worker placement and deck building. Mechanically, super, super solid. I just wanted to throw that out there because if you're watching this video and you weren't aware of what Jason does, Jason is a wonderful human being, and you definitely need to go look at Shelfie Stories or Shelf Stories. I can't remember. It's something like that. Anyways, that's all that came to my mind seeing this, you know. So, but you're right. Mechanically, great game. Very good. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna yeet it up there. And we're gonna go Dune Imperium versus Arnak. Oh my gosh, what's happening right now?
Doesn't Dune have, like, the same themes in it because it's based on the book series?
Probably, but I've not read.
I know, but a lot of people talk about, like, the white savior in the book, that they come to, like, a poor planet and they're mining it for its resources, taking it away from the natives.
I have not read the book or watched the movie, but I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Heard the conversation around it.
We're just talking about some troublesome themes here. We got some deep things happening here. So
I've not played Dune Imperium. I've not read the books. I've not watched the movie. I, like, know literally nothing except that it keeps getting compared to Arnak.
So it is a worker placement and deck building game similar to Lost Ruins of Arnak. However, Dune has a lot stronger worker placement. So there's a lot more worker placement.
So you're saying yours is better because this is a worker placement one? Is that why you
I'm not saying it's better.
You're like, it's got more worker placement.
I'm just saying that it has more worker placement and the showdown was worker placement. Just saying. No, but anyways, Dune Imperium is a fantastic worker placement game where the cards you play are going to determine, like, what you can activate, where your workers can go and gain resources. And then it's got a really cool timing mechanism where, like, the cards you play help you with your workers, but then cards, like, on the bottom, they have activated abilities if you, like, hold them that'll give you, like, resources or give you military. It's just all around a super, super unique take on worker placement and deck building, which is funny because both these games came out in the same year.
Yeah.
So the fact that both these games were being designed and developed in the same cycle... It's so crazy how that happens.
But, like, it happens all the time. It happens so much with, like, movies.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember...
And books and movies.
What was it, like, Eagle Eye and then...
Oh, yeah. There were two movies that, like, were super similar.
Were, like, basically, and they both had, like, Shia LaBeouf. One had him as, like, iRobot.
iRobot.
And Eagle Eye. And I think that's what it's called.
iRobot was
like, where the robots, like, take over and, like, yeah.
That was Will Smith.
Like, there's one that gains, like, sentience or whatever, and, like... I just remember, like, watching those movies, and I was like, this is very familiar. And they're like, Friends with Benefits and No Strings Attached is like basically the same movie, but like different cast. Like it happens, and it's weird that it happens, but a lot of it is like the influence of what's going on in the world, and like it's not necessarily like one thing stealing from the other or like copying. It happened.
Yeah, it's just.
Or like there were two books, Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek and what's the other one? The Giver of Stars. They're both about
like almost same premise.
Like literally the same premise. There's a traveling library in like Tennessee and like the Appalachian where women would go around and like hand out books, and then they would come back and get it and give you more books. And there's a rate. Well, not a rate. There is people that live in the area who have it's genetic that's passing through the bloodline where their skin turns blue. And it's like super rare, but like it's like famous for this area in Appalachia that they're there. So of course both books include one of the people who is affected by this genetic mutation, you know, and it's just like,
so then it's just like,
obviously it's historically accurate, so of course they're both going to have both those things, but it's just weird that they were both published at the same time, and one was like by a famous author and one was by like an unknown author, so it was just like a lot of I read one of the books and I read a lot on like the plagiarism about them, and so it's just one of those weird things, you know.
I mean, so you know, again, these games being developed in the same kind of cycle, it's just interesting, right? Dune Imperium to me is super, super great. I actually think it's probably close to like hitting my personal top 20 as far as just overall games go, because I just absolutely adore it. It uses an app when you're playing 2, 3, or 4 players. You can have an app that'll give you opponents and stuff, and I think it also uses that for solo. And I got the big box and the expansion and the miniature box because it's just awesome, and you know I gotta go extra. And so Dune Imperium is a game I think that's gonna last. It's gonna stick around for a while. Definitely gonna stick around for a while. Your box is so much bigger than mine. Goodness, look at that. I don't even know if we're gonna fit all these on there.
Well,
you win the biggest box award. All right, your last game.
I know what my last one is. I have no idea what your last one is because
I don't even remember what my last game is. I gotta look it up myself. I know what it is. Are you ready for yours?
I am. Viticulture. So this is like the classic OG to me of like worker placement. Another very smooth, very fluid game. Stonemeyer, one of his. Was this his first? Or
no, I don't think
it was one of like his.
It was very
no, I think
early.
Euphoria was his first one.
It was very early.
I don't know if this was next or if this was after.
Also, specifically Essential Edition is what we're talking about, because there was a first edition of Viticulture, and then there's an Essential
edition. The Ascension basically has like the expansions all tied up in the box
and some revised stuff.
Funny story about this: we own this game. Derek traded it. And then I was like, hey, I wanted to play that game. So then he gets another copy, like, he buys it, gets it for me. And I was like, thank you.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I did get rid of it.
I was like, I don't know. I literally know nothing about the game, so he gets rid of it. And I was like, wait, no, that game sounds fun. I want to play it.
And then it ends up being one of your favorites.
I know. So then he gets a new copy. He traded with someone or something to get it back for me.
Oh, my goodness.
But I mean, it's weird because I don't drink, so like the whole idea of like making wine is not like super appealing or interesting to me. But
again, theme, whatever.
I mean, like for me, honestly, theme is not a big player to me. For me, it's much more mechanics and like how smooth the game flows and how easy it is for me to pick up, easy to remember the rules, easy to get to the table.
Right.
And I feel like this is really. It hits all those things, and it's very enjoyable. I love the little glass beads as you are making the wine, and they slide across and get stronger. And
my favorite part about this, in terms of worker placement, is your big worker, your El Grande. So because of that, you don't get blocked out of a location. You can still go somewhere.
That's a
but you can only do it one time.
So you have to be like, really, where do I want to use this? Like, am I gonna wait and see if they're gonna take that from me and then use my big worker, or am I gonna like
it's such a good use for that. And then like you've got like the people that come, like the visitors, and you've got like the Tuscany expansion, the mamas and the papas, and
everyone's saying, I know that
I like you have the fields that you need to like open up the fields, and then you've got you can sell.
You need money. I know that Jamie included a lot of like family members and stuff in the art on the card.
Yeah.
And then there's some people who say like one of the cards looks like Tom Hiddleston. There's a couple other that they pull up and be like, this person looks like this person, you know. It's pretty fun.
It's awesome.
I love this.
Well,
game.
Viticulture, I agree with you.
Beautiful.
It's definitely a really good game. And
I see what your last game is. I get it now.
Oh, you see what my last one is? All right.
So I've only not played of yours, Dune.
Yeah, Dune Imperium is the only game you haven't played yet, and we need to get that fixed because I think if you like Lost Ruins, like mechanically, like you're gonna like Dune because there's again mechanically some really fun stuff happening there. So I think you'd enjoy it. But Tzolk'in, okay, Tzolk'in is like pretty OG for worker placement games. This game is from, man, I don't even know. It's a hot minute since this game was released. There's another CGE game, Czech Games Edition, on our list. So the absolutely coolest part about Tzolk'in is the time management. The wheels, placing the workers, waiting till they get to a location to remove them and activate them and gain the resources. It is such an intricate puzzle that I have never had an experience like that out of any other game.
The thing I remember most is the little crystal skulls.
The crystal skulls and the corn. So
I don't care about the corn. The skulls.
The crystal skulls are great. But it's just that timing mechanism of like, how long do you wait? When and where do you place your worker? I mean, just even thinking about it, it brings back the experiences and the memories I've made with that game. And it's so much fun. Like, this to me would be in my top 20 games of all time. Worker placement is one of my all-time favorite mechanisms. Like, if we ended up doing it, and we probably will do, so it's kind of spoilers for people who watch, if you keep watching us do the verses, but mechanisms, you know, worker placement would be in my list. And with Tzolk'in, it's that timing mechanism. That's it. And I painted the gears too, because like, how can you not paint the gears?
Well,
it's just such a great table presence.
You could not paint the gears.
No, it's such a great table presence. Like, I mean, it just has
cool
a great
anyway because it all spins. But Derek painted everything, which I mean, it looks great. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it looks fantastic. Good. But I personally would never have been like, I need to paint this game. So you know. Agree to disagree.
So that's fair. Tzolk'in is a game that I think a lot of people should try. Again, it's a medium weight game. This is a little bit heavier of a game, probably a little bit more so than Viticulture, but kind of again in that mid-weight, like medium style. With On Mars being the game that is absolutely the heaviest out of
I was like, all
of our games. I'll put yours over here. So there you have it, folks. This is our collective top 10 worker placement games. Like my favorite 5, Lizzie's favorite 5.
I also want to shout out Everdell and Fantastic Factories.
We're giving shout outs now.
Those did not make my top 5. I also want to say Orleans, even though I've been informed it is not worker placement. And I was like, I think it is. And they're like, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why that is not on my list.
Great debate about Orleans. No, that's when we do action selection, Orleans, we will probably fight or just both put Orleans on there.
I'm not fighting. I'm putting it on my list. So you can have it too, or you can just say you can have it. Like, I'm not going to fight about it.
That's fair. So, I mean, if I was going to give some shout outs, I certainly would give shout outs to Anachrony. I would give shout outs to Tricarion. Both of those games are absolutely phenomenal, but are just out. Like, they'd be in my top 10 worker placement games of all time. Both of those definitely would be my top 10.
Heavier and also have not played either.
Also very heavy. Lizzie has not played either of those. Yeah, I'm just thinking, oh, you know what? Another shout out I want to give to is Godfather, Corleone's Empire.
Oh, that's a
that is a fantastic worker placement game. A lot more Take That. Very confrontational.
It's funny because we talked about me and Take That and I don't like it, but I really enjoy The Godfather. And it's an IP game, and I am normally very, very wary of IP games. And when Derek told me about the game The Godfather, and he's like, and it's Eric Lang, and he was like so excited, and I was just
I still love it.
I remember having the conversation. I remember where we were and like what we were doing, and I was just like not feeling it. And then he got it, and he painted it. Well, I think
Nathan Bionhill painted it.
Paid someone to pay, and like it was like the whole big production to play the game, and I was like, okay. And then we finished, and I was like.
You were like, I like this. I was not expecting to like it.
Yeah, it's a good game. And I think for some reason it really flew under the radar. It was not as popular as it should have
again,
been.
IP, you know.
I know. I think IP might have turned some people off.
And I think Steamon. People are just turned off by Steamon for some reason.
Yeah, and it's not like a traditional
it's so good, though.
Steamon
Oh, Lorenzo El Magnifico is another great. great worker placement game. I can't
I played it once.
You aren't.
I really
into
don't
it.
remember a lot of it, except that we played it.
I could talk
like,
worker placement games for hours. So
this is one of Derek's favorite mechanics.
we
so
definitely will not. You know,
it was hard. It was very hard.
It was very hard for me.
Top 5.
Because like it is like probably
he literally switched out a game like as we were like going.
Well, like when you think of our collection, I would say probably a good portion of our entire collection is worker placement games. It's just a quintessential mechanism. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We want to know in the comments, what did we miss? What's your 5 favorite worker placement games?
And
I want to know, like,
who
tell
you
us.
align with more.
Yes.
Are you saying
Team Lizzy?
I mean, I'm
or
not
Team
gonna
Derek?
miss that either way. I promise. Like, who's do you look at and be like, oh, I want to go game day with them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I absolutely agree. I definitely want to know your favorite worker placement games and also which of us you most align with. So, all right, everybody. Until next time.
See you next week.
See you later. Happy gaming.
Bye.